We begin tonight with a troubling picture of America's economy, one that experts say is deteriorating at a pace not seen in years. Over the past 11 days, the United States has received one devastating economic report after another. Not a single one has been positive. By every possible measure, the nation's financial health is sliding deeper into crisis, and the outlook is only getting worse. Economists, data analysts, and leading business executives, many of whom are now laying off thousands of workers, are warning that the country is heading toward a severe downturn. Across every sector, those who analyze the economy and those who run it are sounding the alarm. Conditions are bad, and they're about to get worse. During this same period, President Donald Trump has imposed new tariffs on countries around the globe. And because of what analysts describe as a poorly written executive order, those tariffs have effectively doubled for many goods, jumping not by 25%, but by more than 40%. Despite this, the president has continued to boast about a so-called booming economy, claiming that his tariffs have revived American manufacturing. But the latest data tells a very different story, one of an industry in steep decline. According to reports, U.S. manufacturing is now contracting. The Wall Street Journal notes that companies are being hit with soaring costs for essential materials like steel, aluminum, and copper. Between March and July, the Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index fell to 48, below the critical threshold of 50 that separates growth from decline. Major manufacturers, including Whirlpool, Polaris, and Harley-Davidson, report that consumer demand has sharply declined. Many Americans are holding back on spending, citing uncertainty and higher prices fueled by tariffs. Polaris CEO Mike Speedson recently told investors that customers are now only making purchases when absolutely necessary, or if they're fortunate enough to have the financial means to do so. In short, consumer spending is slowing. Manufacturing is shrinking. Jobs are being cut across nearly every sector, with the exception of healthcare. Because, as many point out, people will always get sick. But even this reality exposes another crisis: America's broken healthcare system. Families are now saving whatever money they can, not for big purchases, but in case they face a medical emergency. After all, medical bills remain the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. To be clear, these problems didn't start with Donald Trump. The U.S. economy, critics say, has been built on a fragile foundation for decades. Sometimes the stock market rises, and we're told the economy is strong. Unemployment figures might look low, but many Americans are working multiple jobs just to make ends meet. Meanwhile, countless families are still being driven into bankruptcy by medical expenses. For many, America feels less like a global leader and more like a banana republic dressed up to look powerful on the world stage. Beneath the surface, the reality is stark. Decay, debt, joblessness, and overworked citizens struggling just to afford basic health care. Businesses and politicians continue to paint a picture of wealth and stability, but critics say it's nothing more than political theater. And while Trump did not create this broken system, his policies, particularly his tariff strategy, appear to be accelerating its decline in ways few thought possible. For millions of Americans, the promise of prosperity feels further away than ever. And tonight, the question remains: